We really got a Polish Kanzen before GTA 6. I probably should have prefaced that with spoilers, but now you know. Spoilers for Ninja Warrior Poland Season 9, which is exactly what I will be reviewing in this video. So for the last few seasons, specifically seasons 6, 7, and 8, I've been giving Ninja Warrior Poland a lot of credit for actually improving throughout the show's lifetime. The courses have gotten a little more balanced, the results are getting a little better, the entertainment value is up because of it, and the editing isn't too much of a drag in those seasons. And I'm incredibly delighted to say that Ninja Warrior Poland Season 9 is amazing. What's up, idiots? Did you guys fall for that too? Because guess what? 2024 has started off with an absolute stinker. Ninja Warrior Poland Season 9 kinda sucks. What he said, but not entirely. There's definitely good things about it, but there's also bad things about it. So let's get into it. I'll start off with the pros. They're pretty easy to list. For one, the commentary is actually good because the commentators are actually engaged in the show. And with that said, the competitors are also infinitely more passionate this season than any other season. With 9 seasons, Ninja Warrior Poland is the longest running ninja show without a total victory. And so you can tell that the competitors and the commentating team really wants that win. Every loss and every success from the competitors feels more emotional because the competitors are bringing a genuine love for Ninja and a drive to win to the table. On top of that, I'm sure the commentators are kind of bored from saying the same stuff over and over, seeing the same results over and over. They're rooting for the success of the competitors, not just for variety, but just because they're invested, and you can tell they're invested, and that emotion really does shine through. Second is the course, and you can argue that the course is bad because we're 9 seasons in and competitors are still struggling on ring toss. Absolutely, sure, valid argument. But Ninja Warrior Poland kind of has their style. Seeing old school A&W obstacles with ATS style builds of Sasuke obstacles on the same course is actually pretty cool. And while it's definitely not as hard as something like A&W or Ninja Warrior Germany or Ninja Israel for that matter, Ninja Warrior Poland is kind of refreshing to see because it's not just other countries copying A&W's obstacles and slightly nerfing them and then putting them on their shows. It's something different, and I did enjoy seeing something different. And of course, as always with Ninja Warrior Poland, the format is an absolute pleasure because it's just qualifiers, the top 2 race for a speed pass on the power tower, the semifinals, and then the 4 stages with no extra twists. It's just one fall, you're done, classic Sasuke style. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, very refreshing because there's so many different twists in Ninja nowadays. It is nice to go back to basics and still see a progression from Sasuke because, you know, Sasuke's course hasn't really changed too much. So to see a little more variety from different shows while also still staying true to the format, not something you see very often, pretty exciting. And now, the cons. Like every season of Ninja, this season was not perfect and there are definitely some flaws. However, I'm a little disappointed with Season 9 more so than other seasons of Poland in the past because we were kind of going on an upward trend, you know? I would say it was like 1, 2, okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9's somewhere around here again. Now, would I say that this is a bad season like seasons 1 through 4 of this show? Absolutely not. This season is definitely better than the first half of the show's run, 100%. But it is worse than the last few seasons, and as I said, it was getting better, so to see it get a little worse isn't that comforting. For starters, the obstacles never really change throughout the qualifiers or semifinals. The semifinals course is exactly the same. The qualifiers maybe switches out 3 or 4 obstacles throughout 6 episodes. So that's not always very fun to watch the same stuff over and over again. On top of that, they cast 180 competitors every season, 30 people per qualifier, and I think a combined total of 25 to 30 of them are actually skilled at Ninja. They do a really good job at bringing back the former last men standing, the former finalists, the former last women standing of the show, so you would think that the season would be really stacked. However, that's only a small percentage of the actual field, and it feels like the casting crew just decided to fill up the rest of the slots with celebrities and athletes and Joe competitors, which, you know, we watch Sasuke, we watch other shows like that. That's normal, that's totally fine. But at the same time, when you have an hour and a half of TV to fill up and majority of your people in the qualifiers are failing the first or second obstacle, you don't really have much to work with in terms of footage. And that went on to really hurt the editing of this season. The profiles got longer, the pre-run interviews got longer, and I think that's because these competitors generally were not very good. It was like for every good competitor there was in the episode, there were 3 or 4 bad competitors, and they tried to get through as much as they could, but also realized if they did all of the competitors as quickly as possible, they would still have 20 minutes of screen time that they needed to fill up. And so with that said, the pacing really does drag a lot, and it's kind of hard to watch in certain moments. There are certain episodes that I think don't have this problem and work really well. And then there are other episodes that I think really drag. And even though it's an hour and a half without commercials, it feels way longer when those problems are present. It got to the point where some of the episodes would begin with recaps of last week, which never happens. And you could tell it was kind of just to fill the space because that took about 3 to 4 whole minutes of the episode. Did they need to do that? Not necessarily, but did they need to do that because they needed to fill the airtime? Absolutely. And then we get to the finale, a very mixed bag with a lot of pros and cons in itself. For starters, the pacing for the finale is always great. It's 90 minutes for all 4 stages, so it goes by really fast. The only other shows or tournaments that really do this are old school Sasuke, and I personally love old school Sasuke. Everyone gets shown one way or another, which makes sense because there's only 24 athletes on stage 1, and then other people who advance through the stages will get shown at some point. They also cut back on the profile pieces. They kind of just trust that you watch the qualifiers and semifinals so you know who the people are, and you can just go and watch their runs, and I really appreciate that. However, the course sucked. Stage 1 had 2 problems. 1, they put Slingshot on stage 1, and honestly, Slingshot is one of those where I don't even know if there's a spot for it in Ninja anymore besides stage 3. You can't have the Speedy stage 2 have Slingshot. You can't have Ninja vs. Ninja semifinals be Slingshot. Sorry, A&W. And Ninja Warrior Poland is shown, you can't really throw Slingshot onto stage 1 because that caused a bloodbath. I think stage 3 is a good spot for the obstacle. It's a good obstacle, just put in the wrong spot in this tournament. There was also the 3rd obstacle, which was walk the plank, and the bar on the dipper kind of got stuck for about half of the competitors, and it really messed with their swing. If you get stuck on a dipper, that's basically a death sentence in Ninja. You're basically gonna fall. Very few people have ever actually recovered from that. So it was a bit disappointing to see top competitors fail, like 2-time last man standing Igor Vojcik, who made it to the final stage before, because he couldn't recover from a malfunctioning bar. Stage 2 then basically got dog walked, only 1 person failed it, and stage 2 is like the 2A, 2B, like timed and untimed portion. That's basically stage 2 and 3. They call it stage 2 and 3, so good for them, but stage 2, only 1 person failed it. People don't know what to do with stage 2 anymore. They don't change it. They change it too much. They make the time limit too big, too little. They make it racing. No one knows what to do with stage 2 anymore, and it's a bummer because stage 2 has the potential to be the best stage. We get to stage 3, and it's actually pretty cool. They buffed the cliffhanger very slightly, and then they buffed Flying Bar, but we still got 2 finalists, so definitely good results going from 8 to 7 to 2. From stages 2 to 3 to the final stage. And then we get to the final stage, which is a lovely rope climb because no one's beaten the rope climb yet. And I'm not sure how to feel about this ending. Viktor Vojcik, who set his personal best this season, shout out to him, ended up timing up on the rope climb. There was no doubt that he did not get to the top. He was not even close. But then season 7 last man standing, former finalist Jan Tatarowicz shows up for his rematch against Midoriyama and has the biggest photo finish arguably in Ninja history. Now it leads to this very suspenseful moment because the lights go gold indicating a win only to immediately go red indicating a fail. The commentators think he won, the competitors think he won, the crowd thought he won, and to see the red it caused an outrage and everyone was like, what's going on? What happened? That was a crazy moment, 100% crazy moment. Then they cut to the commercials, those evil jerks over at Pulsat. What smart choices cutting to commercial. It's an intense moment, and when they come back, it was revealed that Jan hit the buzzer 0.1 seconds before running out of time. he achieved Kanzen Seiha and became the first Ninja Warrior champion in Poland. Congratulations to him. But I have a hard time with the way this specific climb was edited. They do show us a frame side by side of Jan climbing and Jan hitting the buzzer to indicate like, oh, he made it in time. But if you're grabbing two different shots, those can easily be fabricated. I do find it suspicious that the shot of Jan hitting the buzzer and the lights going gold and going red is a wide shot, kind of to, in my opinion, hide when Jan actually hit the buzzer. Basically, I'm accusing this show of potentially rigging the first Kanzen. And it breaks my heart that it ends that way because it's a really good moment on TV. When they reveal that Jan achieved Kanzen Seiha, he breaks down crying. You can tell he's overjoyed. He worked incredibly hard for this. He's, congratulated by his comrades. They play the victory music and the commentators are, given the juice, they're making a moment out of this and it's awesome. But if it's fabricated, that definitely affects things. Some of you may know I have a series called Kane's Soapbox on my channel where I talk about different aspects of Ninja shows or leagues or the future of Ninja as a whole. Well, guess what this week's episode is going to be on? Tune in next week, Saturday, April 27th, while I go over the different aspects of rope climbs, the history of final stages, and how rigged those can be. In that video, I'm going to be going frame by frame on a video editor of Jan's run to see if he actually hit the buzzer before he ran out of time, or if they just decided to give him the win for the sake of boosting ratings. Whether or not it's rigged or not is definitely going to affect my perception and my overall opinion of the season, because ending it on a rigged win would suck. Ending it on a win as close as it was is awesome. But overall, Ninja Warrior Poland Season 9 was pretty middle of the road. It wasn't super terrible. It wasn't super amazing. It had really good moments. It had really bad moments. And so it kind of balanced out to just make something a mid. Regardless, they also hyped up the casting for Season 10, which is probably going to come out in the fall. So expect another season of Ninja Warrior Poland. I'm cautiously optimistic to see what they do now that they have a champion. So we'll see. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I'll see you in the next video.